weekend. A battle in City Hall over the mayor's newest appointee, why some leaders are refusing to confirm Faith Leach as city administrator. Plus, decades after her death, investigators have named a suspect, the new technology they use to try to give some closure to a victim's loved ones.
Live from WBFF in Baltimore, this is Fox 45 News at 6.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Maxine Stryker. The Fox 45 News at 6 o'clock starts right now with the exclusive Fox Track, your Baltimore Minute.
Occupational medical services in Southwest Baltimore resting against the building. Dozens of boxes containing hundreds of patients' private health information. Included in the dump of documents, patients' names, addresses, full social security numbers, and contact information.
How long have they been sitting out there?
Like a day. I got to call somebody to get them moved and shredded. They need to be shredded.
Well, it's been over 24 hours now and you haven't moved them.
I got to wait for the company to come and shred them.
Investigators say convicted bank robber Dorian Jamerson vanishes.
He's a danger to himself and others.
Back in 2000, investigators say Jamerson robbed a bank in Baltimore, holding the manager of the branch at gunpoint while ordering the employees to put cash from the bank's vault into a pillowcase. Jamerson and his co-conspirators, investigators say, escaping with more than $300,000.
He has a long history of eluding police capture, of assault, breaking and entering.
We're tracking a weather maker live at this hour in the big box is the Fox 45 Chevy Storm Tracker, checking out road conditions as the evening commute continues. Let's bring in meteorologist Jasmine Lomax now to help plan your Friday night and the weekend, of course.
Thanks, Maxine. It just isn't the best start to Friday. We've had rain and gloomy conditions for much of the day, and that continues to be the case. We're keeping track of now moderate and even heavy rain across parts of our region. This will continue for the next few hours, but we do have an end for the rain coming a little bit later on tonight. By midnight, we are talking mostly dry conditions, but as you drive on the roads, make sure that you're adding some extra time to your commute and drive safely. This is all part of a larger system. We're keeping track of that low pressure system and the cold front extending from that. We've got snow to our north, rain here with our above average temperatures, but later this weekend, there is the chance for a couple of flurries. I'll let you know the timing and when we dry out coming up in my Weather Authority forecast. Back to you.
Thank you, Jasmine. You can put the power of the Weather Authority Storm Center in your hands. Just download the free WBFF Weather Authority app for your smartphone and use our powerful Doppler radar to follow storms right down to your street. Just go to your app store and search for WBFF to get started. Well, there's turmoil tonight inside Baltimore City Hall, and part of it has to do with Mayor Scott's pick for City Council Administrator. Council members voted last night to reject Faith Leach as the city administrator. And today the mayor responded, saying the rejection is political and is committed to seeing through her confirmation. Fox 45's Mackenzie Frost was inside City Hall with the latest.
Emotions still running high as the city council put forward a clear rebuke of the mayor's pick for the next city administrator. The mayor Thursday night staying silent, Friday refusing to answer questions about what's next. Political analysts tell me this is not a good sign for Mayor Brandon Scott's efforts moving forward as the clear divide remains among leaders inside City Hall.
I'd like to explain my vote before I vote.
Thursday night, a message from the city council.
But this city, it's in disarray. This vote is not about you.
At this time, I move to reject the nomination.
Led by Councilman Isaac Yitzi Schleifer, a rejection of Faith Leach to be the city's next administrator. The mayor's pick for the position created by voters in 2020. That move leading to this.
It is utterly unacceptable that we do not follow our own rules.
And questions over the Scott administration's working relationship with the other elected members of the council.
The administration as a whole, they have not been communicating to the council.
Good morning, everyone.
Friday morning, Mayor Scott's own frustration.
What happened last night in the committee is not how we solve the problems we have in recruiting talented people to serve the people of Baltimore.
Standing with supporters, the mayor says the rejection of his pick was political, and he's working with City Council President Nick Mosby to ensure Leach is confirmed.
The president has now said to me that he and I will work with the council, with the committee, to make sure that that happens moving forward.
Mosby's office telling us via statement he is committed to working with the Scott administration. The mayor doubling down on his support for Leach, who serves as a deputy mayor.
Trust me, Baltimore, we are better with Faith Leach as our city administrator. Thank you.
Despite being a news conference, the mayor not taking any questions, walking away from the podium.
Why do you think this vote happened the way it did?
As he ran back into City Hall.
What matters is that the voters of Baltimore voted on this.
Why won't you answer questions about this?
And up the stairs. The council members opposing Leach maintain their rejection is rooted in frustration with the workings of city government.
The communication that this council has not been given.
And this isn't the first time leaders inside City Hall say they've been left in the dark about decisions from Mayor Scott. The Safe Streets restructuring.
My team nor myself was provided any prior briefing on the restructuring of Safe Streets.
Controversial BGE conduit contract.
No, it's not the first time that there's been a breakdown in communication.
And now an apparent unraveling of plans for the mayor.
But it sends a message that basically, as city council, we need to be listened to more.
Political analyst John Deedy says Leach's rejection should sound alarm bells within the mayor's office.
And the fact that they were willing to challenge him and basically say, yeah, she's qualified, no. That would be a really big red flag. Maybe he's starting to lose a little bit of his political power.
After his outburst in the chambers, Councilman James Torrance says he believes Faith Leach will be renominated.
I'm happy to say that I will vote yes again.
After not taking questions, we followed up with Mayor Scott's team asking when Leach will be renominated and what does the council's committee vote say about Mayor Scott and his administration's ability to govern. The mayor's office ignoring those questions while Leach's future hangs in limbo. That committee's unfavorable recommendation for Faith Leach to serve as the next city administrator is up for a debate on Monday night during the council meeting. In Baltimore, Mackenzie Frost, Fox 45 News.
And this just into our newsroom tonight. The Legislative Committee will hold another hearing on Faith Leach's nomination on Monday. This brings us now to our question of the day. If elections were held today, would you vote to re-elect Mayor Brandon Scott? 86% of those who have voted say no. To make your voice heard, head to foxbaltimore.com/vote. New developments in the case involving the Baltimore witness who was found dead 1 week before she was scheduled to testify in a murder trial. The medical examiner is now reporting the cause of this witness's death as overdose related. Because of her death, the city state's attorney's office says they can no longer move forward with the trial and the court released the accused killer. Friends of the victim tell Fox 45 they're devastated.
It's like him being murdered all over again, you know. The murder was one thing, you know, we've been dealing with that, but now to see this person walk the streets is just as bad.
According to the Mayo Clinic, the drug the suspect overdosed on, doxepin, is used to treat anxiety, depression, or insomnia. Right now, lawmakers in Annapolis are pushing for a bill aimed at getting more witnesses to come forward. Baltimore City Delegate Kaylin Young is proposing a statewide reward fund that would pay up to $50,000 for information leading to the arrest of a homicide suspect. Some fear an increased reward won't motivate witnesses who are afraid of retaliation. The stop snitching culture in Baltimore leading many to feel it's not worth risking their lives to come forward for any amount of money.
I still mourn her death. You know, I got to be old. You know, she didn't. She's forever 16.
And new developments out of Anne Arundel County as a suspect is identified in a cold case from over 50 years ago. Pamela Conyers went missing in 1970. Days later, her body was found in the woods. Now tonight, there's a new suspect in her death. Police believe Forrest Clyde Williams is responsible for Conyers' murder. Williams died in 2018. The FBI says investigative genetic genealogy led them to their new suspect. That process involved analyzing DNA found at the crime scene and cross-referencing it with publicly available databases to identify potential relatives. Those who knew the victim say even with these developments, they still feel a lack of closure on the case.
It feels kind of good that we have a solution, but I'm still frustrated because we don't know anything about this guy. how it all came about.
Well, police said they do not believe Conyers and Williams had any contact before her murder, and they're still looking for more information on her death. Maryland State Police have identified a trooper shot in the line of duty this week. On Tuesday, Sergeant Brooke Phillips, an 18-year veteran of the state police, was shot during a traffic stop near Vienna Scale House in Wycomico County. During the stop, 23-year-old Kiefer Cooper allegedly fired and hit Phillips multiple times. Cooper fled the scene, crashed his car, then shot and killed himself. Phillips has been released from the hospital. A new plan from City Hall to tackle the vacant home crisis, as neighbors are saying the city needs to step in to rebuild communities.
It's a rainy Friday evening as we deal with the weather maker. I'll let you know when the rain ends and what to expect for the rest of the weekend coming up in my full forecast.
A tanker erupts in a ball of flames and homes nearby are damaged. The new information we're learning tonight about this deadly explosion.
Fox 45 News, winner of 17 2022 Regional Emmy Awards, more than all other Baltimore news stations combined.
An update to this past weekend's deadly and dramatic tanker crash in Frederick County. State Police today identified the Eastern Shore truck driver as Ronald Heiston Jr. The 58-year-old father was from Smithsburg. Investigators still do not know why the truck left the road, hitting a tree and catching fire. Heiston's truck had about 8,000 gallons of gas when it crashed. He died at the scene. Several homes were also damaged by fire following the crash. And here's a look at today's top trending stories. Number one, Baltimore City Council members announcing a new plan to tackle the vacant home crisis today. Councilwoman Odette Ramos and Councilman James Torrance are introducing legislation to create the Land Bank Authority of Baltimore City. This authority would work with other city agencies to facilitate the purchase and redevelopment of city-owned vacant homes, replacing them with new housing opportunities, businesses, and more. Residents living near vacant homes saying they need the city to act to fix the vacant home crisis.
And they say, wow, how do you live here? Why do you stay here? Because I know what this community was and I know what it can be. But we cannot do it without support. We cannot do it without help.
Well, according to the city, there are over 14,000 vacant properties in Baltimore. The city government owns roughly 1,000 of them. Number 2, a computer problem is creating a tax issue in Maryland. According to the state comptroller's office, a failure in a dated system has made it impossible for officials to answer questions regarding specific tax returns or residents' refund status. The office has not given a specific timeline on when repairs will be completed, but says they're working to resolve the issue. Officials have also confirmed there has been no hack and Marylanders' personal data is still safe. Number 3, a first-of-its-kind cannabis lounge opens in Burtonsville. The business in Montgomery County is the first business in Maryland people can go to smoke marijuana. Functions much like a regular bar, but replaces beer and cocktails with pot. Right now, only medical marijuana users can go, but in July, marijuana becomes legal statewide, and these businesses will be open to anyone over 21 years old. February's jobs report is out, and it shows the national unemployment rate is just over 3.5%. At the same time, job growth remains strong. National correspondent Atra El-Nashar has a closer look at what this means for job security and the fight against inflation.
A fresh reading of the U.S. labor market shows conditions are still red hot, with workers in high demand, but things are starting to cool.
Today's job numbers is clear. Our economy is moving in the right direction.
311,000 jobs added last month, according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, with the biggest gains in leisure and hospitality, retail, healthcare, and government. It's a smaller number than January's more than 500,000 jobs added. At any other time, an increase in the unemployment rate would be worrying news. But in this moment of tight labor market conditions contributing to inflation,
I thought this report was the best of all worlds. With the number of Americans either working or looking for work growing for 3 straight months now, businesses are finding it easier to fill roles without having to resort to inflationary wage growth.
In the eyes of the Federal Reserve, there's still a long way to go. Back in December, Fed officials projected that by the end of this year, unemployment will be a full point higher than it is now as they engineer an economic slowdown to tame inflation. And that put Fed Chair Jerome Powell at the center of bipartisan criticism on Capitol Hill this week.
When you're slowing the economy, you're trying to put people out of work. That's your job, is it not?
Not really. We're trying to restore price stability.
And putting 2 million people out of work is just part of the cost, and they just have to bear it.
Will working people be better off if we just walk away from our jobs and inflation remains 5-6%?
Powell reminding them 4.6% unemployment is better than it's often been over the past 75 years. But mass layoffs are a telltale sign of recession. And despite historic trends, jumps in the unemployment rate of that magnitude and speed could mean business investment or productivity also take a hit. In Washington, I'm Atra El-Nashar reporting.
Right now, you're taking a look over the harbor. It is very gray and gloomy. You can't see much in the background. Over Towson, we're seeing areas of rain as well, and that's all a part of the next weather maker. We've got rain on the HD radar, and it's part of a larger system that's leading to showers across parts of the region. Notice that rain's continuing to push toward the east, and in the next few hours, this rain will gradually taper. We are looking at this low pressure system and the cold front extending from that. That will continue to move toward the Atlantic over the weekend, leading to another chance for showers and possibly a few flurries by the end of the weekend. Here's a look again over the harbor. 45 for the current temperature. Our visibility is down to 3 miles. So as you drive on the roads, make sure that you are driving safely and maybe adding some extra time to get to your destination. Temperatures are in the 40s across most of the state. A couple of 30s in western Maryland. As we get closer to midnight, the rain gradually starts to taper, and then we'll wake up tomorrow morning to mostly cloudy skies. There's the chance for a few stray showers, and then rain chances will increase for the eastern shore as we head into the afternoon. For the rest of us, we're looking at mostly cloudy skies and temperatures reaching the 40s and the 50s. Then by Sunday, we're off to another dry start, but we have the chance for showers once again. This could have impacts on your plans. There is a very, very slight chance that a few flurries could mix in with that rain, but that would primarily be for areas closer to the state line and for higher elevations. So as we move forward, tomorrow will be mostly dry. Then we are talking the chance for a few scattered showers on Sunday. Then by Monday, notice numerous showers across the state. This is a day when you want the umbrellas. It will be followed by dry weather for the middle of the week. Then by Friday, we're looking at just the chance for an isolated shower. It won't be a washout. Tonight, we fall to 35 with showers through midnight. Then tomorrow, we're looking at high temperatures below average. We stay in the 40s. We'll have mostly cloudy skies and breezy conditions. Winds could exceed 30 miles per hour, so just make sure that you have the layers. You will want them in the morning, and by the afternoon with winds factored in, it's going to feel even cooler than that 49. Coming up, I'll have a look at what you can expect for Sunday and next week in the exclusive 10-day forecast.
Weather Window, presented by the National Weather Desk.
As another storm wallops the west, the Truckee River in Reno is swollen. Creeks and rivers across Nevada and California are running high and threatening to flood. And there could be even more flooding when the rain melts massive snowbanks like here in Mount Shasta. A different storm dropped snow on the upper Midwest, creating beautiful scenes like this near Kalamazoo, Michigan.
For more content like this, follow the National Weather Desk on TikTok.
A simple test could save thousands of lives. The efforts across the country to help stop people from accidentally taking fentanyl. As the country continues to grapple with its drug epidemic, some states are trying to tackle fentanyl by decriminalizing a tool to help drug users protect themselves. Lynette Nugent from our Sinclair sister station in Seattle has the latest on the drug fight there.
For State Senator Ron Muzal, getting Senate Bill 5022 passed is personal.
I had an acquaintance who had a son who overdosed on OxyContin, but it wasn't the OxyContin that killed him. It was a fentanyl that had been put in the OxyContin.
The bill would remove fentanyl test strips from the list of prohibited drug paraphernalia and make them more widely available so people can test for the presence of the deadly drug in anything they're taking.
I can't help but think maybe this would have saved Patrick's life, and Patrick's family would still have him.
Senator Muzal is referring to Skagit County Commissioner Lisa Janicki's son, Patrick, who died in 2017.
He never made it to the hospital. He died on the way to the hospital. I mean, that fentanyl is so unforgiving.
Ever since, Janicki has been sharing her family's story in hopes it might help another family.
Somebody else's child needs that chance to live and get treatment. And, you know, their story doesn't have to end as Patrick's story.
In 2020, King County saw 173 people die from fentanyl-related overdoses, according to the medical examiner's office. By 2022, that number jumped up to 685 people.
To the extent that there's something that we can do about it, which is supporting the test strips being out there, supporting locations where treatment and recovery services are offered.
Supporters hope this can be just one tool in the fight against the fentanyl crisis.
We aren't enabling them, we're trying to get them better. And compassion is getting them out of the situation they're in.
Well, here in Maryland, efforts to expand fentanyl testing are also being pushed through our state legislature. There is bipartisan support for a proposal backed by the governor that will require anyone who overdoses to be tested for fentanyl at the hospital. The goal is the test can help them provide them with better recovery options when they're discharged.
Rain will continue for the next few hours. Then after midnight, we dry out. Tomorrow, we're looking at temperatures around 49 with mostly cloudy skies. Also remember to spring forward. 47 on Sunday with the chance for a few scattered showers by the afternoon. 49 and rainy on Monday. Then our temperatures drop to the mid-40s on Tuesday. After that, we gradually rise as we head into the end of the work week. 49 on Wednesday, 50s on Thursday, upper 50s on Friday. Then after that, our temperatures will gradually stay in the 50s. Back to you.
Well, despite the Ravens using a franchise tag on Lamar Jackson, Baltimore fans are still demanding the team pay him and lock him into a long-term deal. Take a look at this. The Charmery announcing a new flavor called Pay Lamar. The ice cream shop saying they love the star QB and hope the ice cream can get the message out to the team that fans, they want him to stay here in Baltimore. The flavor is peanut butter and caramel ice cream with peanuts and chocolate chips. Sounds good to me. Well, that's all for Fox 45 News at 6. Family Feud is next. We'll see you again tonight at 10. Have a great night.